Hi.
Hello again.
It's been a super wild week and well, maybe even a little bit more than a week. But we thought we would get together and talk about all the things that have happened in the last week as we get ready to head out on a really long 4-month road trip. We promised we would share all the steps along the way with you. And so we thought we would just basically give you a synopsis of everything that's happened over the last week and a half. And we actually had to sit down and talk about it. There was just so much we had to take notes. So this was really tough. So like I said, it's been a really wild week. And without further ado, we're going to jump in on everything that has happened. And if you have questions about any of this, feel free to put them in the comments and we can answer to anything that you might have questions about as we go along.
Mail forwarding service that we have in South Dakota. We've been trying to get license plates, and it turns out that you don't have to go to South Dakota to get the license plates. Our mail forwarding service took care of that for us. All we did was send them all the paperwork, the title and copies of IDs, and mailed it to them, and they went to pick up our license plates. So it was a stress for us because we're coming up on closing, and we had to make sure that that camper was going to be legal to move when we moved out. And we got the tags with plenty of time, but it was a scare for a minute. And then I guess sometime at 2 in the morning, I got a nudge, and Karen realized, wait a minute, we don't have the title. We have to have the title if we're going into Mexico. And so the next day, I'm on the phone with the mail forwarding service, and they're like, it takes 3 to 4 months to get the title. And so of course we're in panic mode then. So I had to go online and find a form and fill the form out and send it to them. And then a week later they signed it, and she was like, yeah, it'll be a couple weeks. Like, that's it? Okay, so we were worried about that. So it's been about a week, and they've shown that they have signed it, they've approved it. So now we're doing a little waiting game now to call back and see if the mail forwarding service has received our title so that we can get it back to us. So hopefully that's another crisis averted.
The reason this is important is we absolutely need our title to get into Panama with our RV. And then we're also crossing through several countries, and we need to be able to prove that the RV is paid for in full. So we do need the title with us as we go. So we want to make sure we have all of our paperwork complete and ready to go before we start traveling internationally in the RV. So besides all the work on getting that RV titled and license plates and registration, Gary also was working on a bunch of repairs for the house and the RV. And we did post a little bit of a video about that within this video that you'll see a little clip of some of the work he did there, but he can describe some of that for you as well.
Yeah, we have a propane tank that's built on, so you have to find a place that will fill that tank that you can drive up to, which is a little bit of a nervous thing because, you know, some truck stops do it, some don't, some gas stations have it, but you can't get the camper underneath the top to get in there to get it. And you got to have a guy that's working that day that knows how to fill it. So there's a little anxiety about that. Well, I found out through some RV threads that they make a little adapter that I put in line to where now I can attach one of those, trade-in tanks that you get at any gas station or any grocery store or hardware store that they, and you can tie it in here so we have propane. No matter what, even in an emergency, we can pull into a Walmart and get propane.
So you also were working on the generator and installed the wrap on the back.
Yeah, we still have a generator issue, and of course, every generator on these older RVs, people don't run them often enough to keep them from getting gummed up. So I finally got a new carburetor in. I haven't installed it yet, but that should fix the problem. And it was only $36, I think, for that carburetor. So if that's all it takes to fix it, that's great. Okay, it's Gary again, and I'm checking in later, like I said I would. Just kind of a follow-up. Last time, on the last video, I was putting tires on this thing, and I was talking about all the other stuff that need to get done. Now I'm working on the generator, like I said, and that cable under the hood definitely went to this thing, and it cranks and didn't start. So we got the little spray to spray in there, the starter fluid, and it'll run on starter fluid. So now I got the spark and all that good stuff, but no fuel. So I did the fuel line and cranked it over, and fuel was spitting out of it. So there you go. It looks like a carburetor, like I guessed. It's been sitting around all gummed up for too long, and yeah. So here I am taking the carburetor, and I've got one on order. Here's the old one. And it's got a solenoid on the bottom, and that solenoid opens up and meters how much fuel goes into it. That's their way of controlling that. And hopefully, when that gets here, and it was only 36 bucks. I'll say only, but you know, this thing is going to nickel dime this for a while, and that's not too bad. Put that thing on there, and hopefully that'll get us going.
Random tools on Facebook Marketplace and got those sold.
Yeah, pressure washer, miter saw. People have got some good deals. So, but we have to get rid of everything that we can't carry. So.
Yep. And then while he was doing all of that, I was focused on finishing my last week of employment with the company that I worked for, which was Bechtel National. And my last day at work was Friday the 13th. So that's not bad luck for me at all. That's actually been a really good day historically for me. It has been a great day for me historically. So that was my last day of work, Friday the 13th. 4-bedroom house and move it into a 24-foot RV. And so that's been my focus, as well as things to be donated and things to be listed on Facebook Marketplace. So a lot of the times we work as a team. I will take photos of the items and edit them. I send them to Gary, and then he lists the household items on Facebook Marketplace. We kind of tag team this, and at present we're down to, for household goods, we have
2 items. Right?
Yeah, a big screen TV and a set of end tables and a coffee table. That is the full extent of our furniture that's left to get rid of. The nice patio set that we're sitting on now, the buyers have requested that it convey, and we were happy to do that, because then we still have somewhere to sit, and one less thing that we have to eliminate.
Sell or carry away somewhere, yes.
Exactly. So the other thing that I've been working on is I got some video editing software to try to make our videos a little bit more professional. I've been promising I was going to try to work on making better videos. I am not in any capacity a super high techie kind of gal, but I'm also not a stranger to computers, so it's been challenging. So I've been taking these little courses and trying to learn some new skills with some software. So you may be seeing me post some 1 to 3 minute videos as I practice some of these skills that I'm learning while I take these courses on trying to make better videos for you, our loyal 18 subscribers. So thank you very much. We do appreciate you guys subscribing and following along as we learn how to use YouTube and get better at these videos, so that you can follow us along and have a more enjoyable journey with us, because we want you to follow along and enjoy this adventure with us. It means a lot. So I am trying to build those skills up.
Sure.
So we can give you better quality, better produced videos. So bear with us as I practice.
We've also been slowly moving literally into the camper, to the point where we have spent a couple nights in the camper.
Oh my gosh.
We're getting the experience of having
that mattress,
4 cats, a bad mattress, and 4 cats climbing over us in the middle of the night, and 2 dogs to try and step over without killing yourself in the middle of the night if you have to go to the bathroom. And she's got a bad ankle right now, so of course we're in fear that she's going to re-injure it just stepping wrong over top of some dog. So there's that stressor of what do we do with the pets? How do we keep them under control? Where do we put them? They all have carriers except for the dogs. And
we did order a really nice mattress. It's on its way. So one of those gel insert, what are they called?
Memory foam.
Memory foam.
So we won't be able to feel the springs anymore.
Oh, it's going to be heaven on earth. So, yeah.
and it had these old blinds, mini blinds, but they're made of aluminum.
They're horrible.
They were so loose that you'd brush them in the middle of the night and it'd sound like wind chimes.
Clang, clang, clang.
And you're like, 2 in the morning, that's great. So I brushed one last night and I looked over, she didn't move. Okay, I got away with that one.
He updated all that today, and it's amazing because they look nice and bright and clean. Oh, so much better with all the new window treatments. He just got the regular pull down
like
shades.
Classic school roller vinyl shades. And
much better.
They lay flat so you can put a pillow up against them and they don't make a bunch of noise.
Exactly.
They don't get bent and brittle and fall apart.
Yes. The other thing we did, and we did post a small video about this if you guys want to see where we're going for our first 3 weeks, but we did plot our first 3 weeks of driving. Our first 3 weeks is pretty much set in stone now. We have plotted our course through the northern United States for the first 3 weeks. We are planning to leave the state of Washington on or about July 5th through the 7th. And video of that route, where we're going to be going, who we're going to be seeing, and the sites we're going to see along the way. So after the northern United States, we're going to move east, and we're going to be doing from Ohio into Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, all of the eastern United States, and then from there we're going to go into the south. All southern United States is going to be Tennessee, Mississippi, and into Texas finally before we leave the country. So we're going to be letting you follow along, and we'll peg the map for you and we'll plot out each section as we go in phases so you can see what we're doing a couple weeks ahead of time, and you can kind of follow our route in each little section before we actually leave. So that was a big step to get the first 3 weeks budget all set and done. I think one of the big stressors that comes along with that, though, is plotting a new budget, because now that I am no longer working and neither one of us has an actual gainful employment from an employer per se, and we're now working off retirement type incomes, budgeting has become a whole new meaning. Very important now. And so while we're trying to learn what it's going to cost for fuel, what it's going to cost for camping, and what it's going to cost for food, and what it's going to cost for everything, because everything is different now. We don't have anything set in stone yet, and it's probably going to take us a couple of months before we get into a rhythm of what everything actually costs. So one of the biggest stressors is trying to figure out how much we estimate fuel is going to be, how much we estimate groceries is going to be, or how much camping is going to be. So these are things that have kept us up at night. We've done some pretty good math, but you know, at this point, honestly, it's a hypothesis 100% of the way. We don't have, there's no way we can pinpoint exactly what these things are going to cost. So we're working on a set budget of what we want to spend in a month, and don't want to go over, and we're going from that number and working off that budget. So that's where we're at, and we're gonna, because that's what we have set a goal for us to live off of, and so that's our goal, and that's what we intend to do, because that's also going to be our goal once we get to Panama. So that's the biggest challenge right now, is to see, can we do this? And I think we can.
I think we can too.
Absolutely. So one of the other issues that's been a bit of a stressor is when we finally get to Texas, we have to arrange not only our paperwork for his Social Security for our visa, which is going to be time sensitive.
Prove that I have a lifetime income for them.
Yes.
Their requirement.
Yes, he gets his first Social Security check on October the 8th. We leave the country on October the 19th. And so between October 8th and October 19th, we have to get his statement and get it apostilled at the consulate before we leave, so that we have that in Panama for our visa. So we'll be in Texas, so we can probably get that done overnight at the Houston consulate, but we have 11 days to get that document printed out, apostilled, and returned to us before we leave for Panama. So we have a timeline there. That's going to be a little bit of a stressor. The other thing that we are on a super tight budget for is the pets. They all have to have their international health certificates and all their shots and everything ready. So we've already been in touch with a vet in McAllen, Texas. They don't have their schedule open yet for that far out, but they've made arrangements for me to call them back, because when we get there, they have to have a pre-appointment before they can have their international health certificate. So we have to arrive in Texas early enough for them to have a pre-appointment and then go back for their international health certificate appointment, get their international health certificates, get all their shots, get that international health certificate also notarized, apostilled, and ready to go. And then we have to have that international health certificate and arrive in Panama within 10 days. So again, just like Social Security, very time sensitive. So that's a stressor too. Those are the two big stressors once we hit Texas. Texas is going to be incredibly time sensitive and a bit stressful. So we need to be in Texas. We need a solid 2 to 3 weeks in Texas just to give us some time to get all these things done. So that's going to be a little bit stressful. So is there anything else that we did this week that we want to talk about? So that was a very wild week for us. Wild, wonderful, because we also got a lot done, and we're almost finished. So this week coming up, I'm going back to Panama. So you can be expecting to see more videos of Panama. I'm doing an even deeper dive than when Gary and I went last month. On Thursday, I am headed back to Panama, this time with my mother. And we're going to be doing private tours of the Chiquirity province. I'm going to be seeing David, Dolega, Boquete, and Volcan in depth. So I'll be having lunch with one of our tour guides from our relocation tour Victoria while we are there. And also we have a private guide, Jason's going to be taking us through all these towns in depth. So we're going to have a much deeper dive. So you'll get to see more of Panama here this week and into next week as I go back with my mom. So be expecting some videos from that. And there's going to be that. And then also as soon as we get back, we'll be closing on this house and heading off to our first campground, about 10 miles from this location in Richland, Washington. So big changes next week and the week after as we actually leave this house, move on to our first campground, and then we leave the state of Washington. So a big changes for us, and we start our traveling, and we're super excited to have you following along. After we leave Washington State, we're going to Yellowstone National Park and the Grand Tetons.
I can't wait. It's exciting for me.
Yes, it's a beautiful place. I've told him he has to go see it while we're still in the States.
Absolutely.
So that's our first stop. You'll get lots of videos of that. We cannot wait to share this adventure with you. We are excited.
Oh yeah.
A little nervous, but be lying if we said we weren't. But truthfully, I'm just super excited to have this chance to do this with my husband. Gary and I are always happiest together when we are traveling together.
We do like to travel.
It's been that way from the get-go. It's one of our favorite things to do. It seems like sometimes the spontaneity of it all is what just makes us feel alive. And this is a little bit more planned spontaneity, if you want to call it that.
I like to plan my spontaneity.
But there's still a lot of mysteries to unfold because we can't plan all of it. Some of it kind of happens as it happens.
And you have to roll with it. You can't panic or try not to.
Small bites.
Big things happen. You fix it.
Small bites.
Yep.
Yes. So we are very excited to have you with us. Again, you guys, thank you so much for everything. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Please like this video. It does help us. We are trying to grow and share this adventure with you. We appreciate y'all so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Ciao, Bellas.
Ciao.